Okay, so you should have this printed out from the PDFs. And now we're into the second week of Power Team Certified, and here's the key points. First key point is that now people have been exposed to the terms and concepts, and we're going to start getting into what we call the core competencies a little bit. Those of you that I was able to connect with when I was out in Southeast Asia and some of the live trainings, we did a lot of work on the core competencies, which include the six life cycle events, the 6 key situations, as well as the 4 stages of Power Team development, which was in Lesson Plan number 1, and then systematic visibility, which is coming up right around the corner. But right now, we're digging into the 6 key situations, and we're using the I'm relevant exercise, which we did in some of the stops there. All right, so again, as you're mentally preparing for week number 2 at the chapter level, okay, at the 3 to 5 minute education coordinator, what you're really going to be talking about is associating referral opportunities with the 6 key situations. You're going to be reviewing the 6 key situations, and then we're going to do the I'm relevant exercise. So this is a very straightforward lesson plan. If it was me, I would deliver it something like this. Last week we started out our Power Team journey with an overview of the essential Power Team's terms and concepts. Now, before we jump in today's exercise, let's take a quick review of the 6 key situations that create a lot of referrals for a wide variety of businesses. Okay, everybody, open up your roadmap workbook to page 8, and you'll find the I'm Relevant worksheet. So now, everybody on the call, go ahead and open up your workbook to page 8. And so now you'd continue by saying, let's quickly review these 6 key situations in the left column. Okay? And so you're just going to be reading right off the worksheet. And so you'll go through and say, key situation number 1 is the business builder. Everybody remember that? People starting a new business or making a current business more profitable. And you'll go through the 6 key situations quickly. They're right there in front of you. You just read it. So now you're going to continue by saying, the I'm Relevant worksheet is essentially a bragging sheet that says, I've got something relevant for this key situation. I have a product or service that can be relevant to this key situation. And so the idea is for you to now complete the worksheet indicating whether or not you have a product or service that's relevant to the 6 key situations. So if you do have a product or service, write the name of the product or service as well as the benefit of that product or service to the consumer next to the key situation. So for example, let's take someone from the health and wellness contact sphere in the first key situation, the business builder. Your product or service may be relevant because it gives the business builder more energy and mental stamina from physical fitness that helps the business builder be more efficient and effective at work. Now, in this type of context, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow trainers on the call, I want you to say these things in your own words, okay? I say things my way. You get the point. At this point in the presentation, I want you to make some type of example. And what I'm saying is health and wellness can help business builders with just more energy, more mental stamina. It might be how a financial planner helps the new baby key situation with planning for retirement or a college fund. Whatever the example is that you like, you can use here. And again, I want you to say things in your own words. But if it's me, I'm basically going to finish up by saying, while this product or service is relevant to the business builder, it's likely that this is not a primary target market for the health and wellness professional. Does the health and wellness person want you to know that they'll accept the referral and they'll be happy to work with the business builder? Of course they do. They just won't allocate much in the way of their marketing budget to attract this type of customer. So what you're doing here is you're just trying to educate the group about how they have products or services that they might not normally be marketing, but they make sense in terms of these key situations. So what we're saying here to bring it full circle is, in contrast, the health and wellness business thrives on the next key situation, getting healthy, and the worksheet is completed accordingly. So you can see on the I'm Relevant worksheet on page 8, if you're a health and wellness person filling this out, business builder key situation, your relevant product or service would be, whatever it is, chiropractic care, massage, nutritional products, and the consumer benefit to the right would be something like more energy, better clarity, and it might not be one of your top 3 key situations if you're in the health and wellness industry, yet you've got a relevant product or service, whereas getting healthy is going to be clearly in one of your top 3. So that's what we're saying here in the material. And finally, in the right, rate the top 3 key situations that create the most referral for your business. Any questions? So the idea is that you want to give people an example and then ask them to take a look at this from their own perspective, and then we're just going to turn them loose and say, go ahead and complete the worksheet. Go ahead and complete the worksheet. So you're going to give them a minute or 2 to see if they've got a relevant product or service for each key situation. If so, what's the benefit to the consumer? And then rate the top 3 as it relates to being a moneymaker for driving business for them. And then you'll just wrap up the presentation by saying, after you've completed the worksheet, please write your number 1 key situation on your business card and hold onto the card. Okay, so this is the exercise piece. After you've completed the worksheet, write your number 1 key situation on your business card and hang on to the card. A little later in the meeting, the BNI director will use these business cards to help us form bragging buddy groups of 2 or 3 people as part of today's Power Team Boot Camp. Now again, you can be using the word orientation in your region instead of boot camp, but when you see the word boot camp in any of the material for the workbook or the Train the Trainer, we're talking about orientation. Okay. So then finally, to wrap it up, you'll say also if you've been working ahead on your own with the DVDs and you already have a bragging buddy, be sure to write their name on the card as well. So if the people in the group have kind of went ahead on their own and worked their way into the system and they've already got a bragging buddy and they've started that process, we want to make sure that we put that on this business card or the name card as well. Very important point here. Make sure that this part of the exercise is completed because the director will be using it in just a few minutes later in the meeting. They're going to write their number 1 key situation after completing the I'm Relevant worksheet on the back of their card, along with the name of a bragging buddy if they already have a bragging buddy in place. And so that's the education coordinator presentation for the 2nd week, the I'm Relevant worksheet.